Welcome to the Pretty Confident Podcast, where we embrace authenticity, own our worth, and build unshakable confidence. I'm your host, Sierra Renee, so let's dive in. What's up, you guys, and welcome to yet another podcast episode. We are in the final week of December 2025. Can y'all believe it? I can't believe it. I feel like this year just went so fast. It was like a blur to me, but we accomplished so much this year. And obviously, you guys know at the end of every month, we talk about things that we accomplished in the month. But instead of just this month, we're going to talk about things that we accomplished this year. So go ahead, pull out those bingo boards, okay? Because we did a bingo board at the end / start of 2024-2025, and it is important that we go back over month by month or just the whole entire year and reconcile and reminisce on the things that we accomplished so we can feel motivated and confident going into 2026. So I'm gonna go ahead, I got my bingo board pulled out, but y'all know me. Since I am getting more confident, getting more comfortable recording in my house, okay, I am going to also be getting ready. I did a little something different today. First off, how are you guys doing? Y'all know I love to lead off with that. I want to know how you guys are, what headspace we're in, what this last week of December is looking like, feeling like, and how you're feeling going into the new year, okay? And comment down below in the comment section if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, Amazon Music, or iHeartRadio, I know Spotify has a comment section, so comment there if you can comment there. But I don't know if Amazon Music or iHeartRadio has a comment section. So comment what traditions you and your family or you yourself have year by year for New Year's and Christmas. I really love how you guys can just start something one year and it becomes a tradition, and it is so full of excitement, or maybe it's full of, wanting to just give congratulatory, recognition to others, especially in your family, because sometimes, everybody lives states away, or maybe you don't live states away, but nobody in your family really knows really truly knows what you've accomplished. So I know I've seen one of my lights just went out, but we'll keep on rocking, okay? But I did see on TikTok, I've seen like these, things that we've accomplished cakes. Like they write what they've accomplished on like a little pen and paper that sticks into like this little stick that goes into the cake, and they just write, what they accomplished or what they're proud of themselves of this year, and they say it on camera and then they stick it in the cake. I think that is so brilliant. I think that is so beautiful. And then, one other thing that my family does, we do Christmas. I want to see how I'm going to say this, because I call it Armstrong Olympics, but we do Christmas games. We started a tradition last year where we did games for Christmas, because all of us are older now. When we were younger, there weren't like a lot of things that we were doing around holidays. Everybody just comes together, open gifts, and then just go their separate ways. Or the kids play together, but we're not that young anymore. So how can we bring back that connection feeling? How can we bring back community? How can we bring the family together when all of us don't see each other, but we all don't want to just open gifts? Because it's not about the gifts anymore when you get older. It's about spending time with those that you love so that you can feel connected to something, somebody, or somewhere, a place, thing, event, whatever. And so I really love that. So as y'all know, I'm gonna, kind of get ready. I already did my skin routine, which has improved. You guys, I was just able to fully restock my skincare. Like, since everything has been going on, I'm not gonna say my skincare has taken a back seat, because that is something that is really, like, when I tell you really important to me, it is really important to me that my skin is in the healthiest condition that it can be in. And I don't know when I started taking skincare so serious, but
I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that it's something that I love to do every morning. I feel like it's something that, kind of takes time out of the day just for me if I'm not setting aside time throughout the day. But, that skincare, ooh, a girl loves to feel good. A girl loves to get compliments on her skin. And so, if there is anything that I can do to make sure that one, my skin looks healthy, is healthy, especially during pregnancy, because there could be a lot of dryness going on in one's skin when they're pregnant. And so I just want to make sure that I'm staying hydrated. I'm staying, looking good. And, I just can't say that I know ball about if you're giving birth to a girl, her stealing your pretty, right? And I kept hearing that, oh, if you're giving birth to a girl, she'll steal your pretty, she'll steal your pretty. But I just feel like I have this glow, and I'm not like my husband was joking around, and he was like, oh, so are you saying that my baby girl is gonna come out ugly? I'm like, no, that just means that there's so much pretty that she can take from, and that both of us will still have, that I still have left over if she's taken from my pretty. Like, that's all that it is. So, I'm just want to make sure that I'm staying on top on my skincare, because if not, I could be looking dusty, crusty, and all between. Like right now, my lips dry, but I'm about to do, my morning routine where I moisturize my lips. And do my lip combo and all of that. So it is it takes effort, to still look good, still feel good, still want to do the things that make you feel good and look good. So make sure you're taking the time to do it. That is something that plays into that confidence factor. If you feel good, if you look good, there is nothing nobody can tell you when you walk out the door. But if you feel bummy, if you feel like you look bummy, you're going to be worried about, oh, I hope nobody, I know sees me because I don't look my best or this, that, and the third. Like, it's okay to run errands and look bummy, but if you're going out to do something, if you're going out to be seen, even if you're not going out to be seen and you're just going out into the world, just doing whatever, make sure you feel good, make sure you look good, because that plays into the confidence factor. I know it plays into the confidence factor for me, because a lot of the times when I just throw myself together, like my mom taught us young growing up, well, both of my parents, my mom and my dad, they taught us, if you're going to go outside, if you're going to step outside of this house, you're going to look presentable. And I feel like when you start to live by yourself, and you don't have to follow every beck and rule that your parents like kind of make you do or engrave in you for a certain time period, it makes you want to kind of do things that you never had the opportunity to do when you were living under their household, or going somewhere with them, because they would always say, if you're going with me, you ain't looking like that, right? So I started to, go out the house looking bummy. My husband, he does not care. He will go outside looking bummy. But, I kind of like, oh, you're going in that? Like yesterday, I literally did that to him. I was like, are you gonna change your jacket? Are you gonna get ready? And he knows, to me, that means like, I want you to look a little bit more presentable. And it's not just because like, oh, you don't like how he normally looks, you don't like his authentic self. I think there's a difference between being your authentic self and presenting your authentic self outwardly to the world. What you give people is what people are going to receive. And so if you give people mess, and if you give people chaos, and if you give people, the opportunity to criticize you in a negative light because you did not put your best step forward, your best foot forward, sometimes that can mess stuff up, opportunities, whatever the case may be. And like I said, I'm not saying put on a show for people. I'm not saying, be fake. I'm not saying be a character. I'm not saying do any of those things. But all I'm saying is, if you don't want the feeling of judgment, make sure you feel your best, because like 9 times out of 10, when you feel judged, it's because you already did the judging yourself and you don't agree with where you are, what you're doing, how you look, what foot you're putting for, whatever the case may be. If you feel like other people are looking at you and judging you, is because you yourself are judging yourself. If you step out there with confidence, can't nobody tell you nothing, bad bitch attitude, tough nigga attitude, whatever, because I know there may be some guys watching this too. There's nothing that you judged about yourself other than how you looked before you walked outside. So if I can't tell myself anything, if I couldn't look at myself and say, hey, I needed to clean this up before I walked outside, what can somebody else tell me? If anybody is looking at me, it's because I put that ish on and I know I look good and they know it too. So people are going to stare. Nobody is not like anybody's not like just nobody out there, just a stranger's not gonna stare at you if you ain't got your shit popping if you don't look good. So let's stop taking like, oh my gosh, I'm getting eyes on me everywhere. Da, 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 da. Let's stop taking that as a negative and look at it as a positive. If you have eyes on you and you feel good, you look good, it's because you look good, and that confidence, it shows off of you. When you feel good, you put your best foot forward, your chest is held, up, your chin is held high, not looking down and scrunched over, looking all embarrassed and, trying to make yourself feel small. You take up more space in the room just based off the vibe that you're giving other people. So when we're talking about, oh well, oh, she just thinks she's all that, she just did she did. If other people are saying that about you, baby, you are all that. They know it and they are just pointing it out and projecting that they don't feel that way, and they notice that about you and they hate that. They are jealous, they are envious that you feel that way and that you're that way. When I used to get called like, oh, you just think you're all uppity or bougie or this or that, I am. And because I know I am, I'm not strutting around like, oh my gosh, I'm bougie this, I'm bougie that. I know hold myself to a certain standard and a certain degree. And because you don't do that for yourself, you're looking at that as a negative for me. It's not a negative for me. I hold myself to a higher standard than you may hold yourself to. And because you feel like you can't achieve that higher standard because I hold myself to that, I did not ever say that I hold you to that as well. I hold myself to that. And so since you don't agree, since you see that happening, you are trying to project your jealousy or your envy or your need to be like me onto me. I'm okay with where I am. I don't need to shrink myself to make you feel better, and I will never do that. So, you know, just you guys, we are going into 2026 confident. Like I said, I did some different things this morning. Like I put on a sweater. This sweater is from my mom. Like it fits really good. My mom lost a lot of weight. I'm looking at myself. Like I got my hair done. And at first I didn't like this color. I think I told y'all last week. I got my nails done. I don't know if I showed y'all last week. It's, Christmas theme. I got my wedding ring on, my pinky ring on, and my husband asked me, what other rings I would wear. I said, honestly, this is all the rings that I would wear. I'm not really a ring person. I really just wanted, like, I would always keep a promise ring on my finger that I would always buy for myself when I was younger. But other than that, he got me my engagement ring, which was this. And then I told him I don't need a band. This ring looks like it has two bands already welded together. But then he bought me this pinky ring in Jamaica. I was like, this is so freaking cute. Like, but I did tell him I'd wear like an anklet, and he knows the number one gift that I want is my Van Cleef necklace. So at some point, I know he'll get it for me. But good thing comes to those who wait, okay? I am never in a rush, and I know how we are. We are very financially, we talk a lot about our finances. So I know like if something isn't happening, like date night as much, if date nights aren't happening as much, I know it's because, okay, we don't have the extra money right now to set aside for date night, but we're together 24/7 all the time. It's amazing. We haven't had like such big arguments. I told him I'm gonna make up an argument and argue with him and pretend to be mad or something. I don't know, but life just feels like it's going so well. So I hope everything is going all right with you guys. I didn't do any blush today, and I didn't do any enhancement to my tiny beauty marks, but y'all saw I did my eyebrows, my lip combo. I got my glasses on. Like I said, I got on a sweater today, and I don't know why I felt like I wanted to put on a sweater, but I just wanted to put on a sweater. And we're going to go ahead and hop into this bingo board because I almost said something sooner than I wanted to. And you guys know I'm always transparent with you guys. I'm always going to tell you guys some things that I may not even tell my close friends or family. Because sometimes you just need to get it off of your chest. And because I'm not talking directly to y'all, like you guys are on the other end of this, phone, like talking to me right here, right now. I feel like, it's a little bit easier, saying things to y'all without judgment until I like listen to it back. But most of the time I just post, whatever I record because it's raw, authentic me. So I'm going to tell you guys that at the end of this episode. And then let's see, let's go ahead and get into our 2025 bingo board. So since I can finally like show y'all up close, this is my bingo board. Okay. Super cute. We're just going to go off and read everything that we accomplished. We're going to read some things that we didn't accomplish. And then starting in 2026, either January or February, I think I already told you guys I want to do the new year a little bit differently as far as like vision boards, prayer boards, bingo boards, proof boards. I know I mentioned that like an episode or two ago. And now there's a different method that came across my timeline on TikTok. And so I followed the individual because she had this method that really resonated with me. If you are doing vision boards and not doing any work to make your life look like the vision board that you have created, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy, and vision boards is not telling you what you need to do to achieve that vision. Okay, so she had like quarterly vision boards or quarterly plan or call to actions. I can't remember exactly what she referred to them as, but she had these quarterly things that she's like, okay, if you can't do it daily, if you can't do it weekly, that's not a goal that you can achieve in this current moment. And so I was like, okay, I actually like that. There's a lot of things that I want to accomplish in 2026. We have a lot going on, not to mention my baby will be here. Miss Kalia, I don't think I said her name on the platform. Miss Kalia Renee will be here. Should be May is her due date, May of 2026. But if she comes earlier, perfect. If she comes, in May, perfect. Whenever she graces us with her presence, I will be happy because I cried the other night. I'm a big baby. I cried the other night because I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you miss somebody that you never met? But I'm looking at her ultrasound, like I'm looking at her face, I'm looking at her smile on the 3D ultrasound we got. And I just started crying because I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to hold my baby girl in my arms. But anyway, okay. Anyway, we have a lot going on. She's supposed to make her debut. My mom wants to do the baby shower in March. She's supposed to be born in May. We have our wedding in October, our actual ceremony, because we already did the wedding. It was just small, intimate, get it over with, not get it over with, but to kind of check the box so that we can get our house because we were already engaged. It wasn't like, oh, let me jump, a few steps and just get married to you so we could get a house. No, but we were already engaged. We know we were going to get married. We just moved the ceremony up a year, made it small, intimate, and then we're going to celebrate with everybody next year. So that's in October. And then we go on our cruise, which was supposed to be our wedding cruise in November, but now my parents will make it their vow renewal because I felt so bad. And my mom kind of rushed everybody like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we doing this cruise? She will find any excuse to book a cruise. So she booked an 8-day cruise for our our wedding ceremony. And I told her, like, stop rushing, stop jumping. So one thing about us, when we want something and we want to go ahead and get it done and over with, we book it, we plan it, we do everything we need to do. And since she loves cruises, she went ahead and booked it and everybody sent in their deposit. I'm like, y'all, we haven't even confirmed and y'all are doing the most. So I felt so bad that everybody, went ahead and put some, skin in the game as far as like just putting down their deposit, which isn't much compared to how much you have to pay overall. But I said, anybody that doesn't want to go, we will pay their deposit back because it is non-refundable. She was like, girl, no, we're going to make it our, vow renewal. Because I think next year they would have been married for 19 years. Yeah, 19 years next year they'll be married. So it's just amazing to see, love prosper and for me to be going in that direction. So we have a lot to do in 2026, and I just want to make sure my personal goals doesn't like don't get lost in the sauce, and that I don't lose sight of what I do want to achieve and what I want my life to look like. So hopefully my phone doesn't vibrate anymore, because I hate distractions on the podcast. But we're just going to go all over everything, and just see what we accomplished. Okay, it's gonna be quick, it's gonna be short, it's gonna be simple. But I'm gonna read what I wanted to accomplish at the beginning of 2025. Obviously, some of these boxes did change, and that is okay. If you change the boxes on your bingo board, if you take away some pictures on your vision board and add different images, it is okay. Who we are when we create these vision boards, bingo boards, prayer boards, it's not always going to be who we end up being and still are at the end of the year. We change, we evolve, we grow. And the season that we were in when we first created the bingo boards may not be the season we're in at the end of the year. Okay. And that is okay. Or along the way, right? So as you change, as your wants and needs change the vision board, change the bingo board, change the proof board as it goes. Okay. So number one, I paid off one credit card. I paid off one credit card. I paid off all three of my credit cards, I think twice now. So I do have three different spaces of pay off credit card. I did pay off all three multiple times, but now they ran back up. Okay, we got a house. There was some things that need to be done, things that needed to be, so that's gonna forever be a revolving door, because you never want to just pay off your credit card and then leave it zero. I think when you leave it at a zero balance for an extended amount of time, the credit card institution ends up closing your. Oh, I saw a flash and I was like, oh, please don't let my phone have been dead. But because I know it's charged. Or don't say full storage, because I don't have anything on this phone. This is my content creation phone. But anyway, you never want to leave your credit card account zero for too long, or inactive for too long, because what will happen is if it is zero and not utilized, it's inactive, the credit institution will then close your account without your say so or whatever. So always use your credit cards, but pay off monthly. Right now, my husband lost his job. So that was our plan anyway, was for him to resign from his job. But there was a lot of stuff going on, and it just didn't make sense for him to keep driving to Nashville from Columbia. So, made a sacrifice, made a big decision, and, he still gets disability every month. So it's not like we're in the trenches, but it would be nice to have a little flex room, right? And so, he's working on his disability. He's working with the VA now that they're back open, and we're trying to find him a job so that we can have that disability, my income, and another source of income. So, yeah, so I mean, that'll be nice to have some wiggle room. And then once we go back to offsetting bills, as in like switching every month, because that's what works for us. If that doesn't work for y'all, don't do it. I'm not giving any relationship advice on how finances should go. That is the number one leading cause of divorce. I don't know if it's number one, but it's high up there. Okay. Upload more tutorials. I have been doing a lot of makeup tutorials since last year. I just scrolled on my TikTok and looked at what I was doing in 2024 versus 2025, and it was a complete 360. I've been doing more makeup videos. I've been doing more digital design videos, as far as like how to create stuff on Canva, skin routines, all types of tutorials. And so I really love that goal, because it really put me outside of the box that I was already in, and it didn't keep me in one box. And what I say by that is, everybody says, oh, niche your content, niche your content. I don't like the whole niche your content, because when you niche your content, you only give somebody, like, if you want to do it, perfectly fine. If that's all, like, if this is one thing that you're just so passionate about and that's all you want to do, that's fine, do it. But I was just so confident in skincare, makeup, travel when I'm traveling. And so I didn't want to only post one thing, because that's the only thing that you'll get from me. And that only shows you one side of who I am. We are all multi-division, we're all multi-divisional. And what I mean by that is, let me see, we all have different sides of us, and we're not just one thing that we show people. There are other things that contribute to who we are. One thing that we may put out just shows a fraction of that. So we're multi-dimensional. So, I wanted to show that I like multiple things. I'm not completely always into makeup. I don't wear makeup every day like other people do. So, uploading more tutorials just in makeup and in other things as well definitely helped me. I paid my student loans current. That was a whole fiasco. I did a liquid diet for 2 weeks. I did a liquid diet for 1 week. I paid off another credit card. I started my YouTube channel. I started three, but I think I dissolved one because I wasn't really into digital design as much anymore. I bought new bar stools. I started digital designing, which I'm kind of leading away from now. I launched my visual podcast. That was something we did at the 1 year anniversary mark, and it has progressed every single point of the way. Like at first I was in my living room, then I was, in my content creation desk, my vanity desk where I'm at now, which I can't wait to move away from. Like, as you guys know, the wall behind me will soon be my content creation stuff. I am meaning to put that my wallpaper up. I'm gonna do that this weekend. I took an extra day off to have a 4-day weekend. But yeah, I think I'll be moving away from digital designing. Can't wait to like get my podcast area set back up. I applied for a new role at work and got it, so I am in a new career. Within my company or within the company that I'm with, I've read more than 5 books, and I started a new book 2 nights ago, and I am already more than halfway through the book. I think that if I put my mind to it, I'll be able to finish it tonight or tomorrow. And y'all know me. Or I feel like you guys, if you guys have been, in the beginning of 2025, y'all know if I like a book, it is very hard for me to put it down. I did not watch TV one time yesterday. Well, I watched my iPad while I was working, but I did not turn on a TV and watch it. When I was away from my computer, when I was away from work, when I was done with work, I was either cleaning or reading my book. So when a book has me, it has me, and I finish it in the same week. That's how you know a book is good. But I definitely wanted to get back into reading. Renovate living room. That's completely renovated now that we moved into our own house. Living room looks completely different than it did when I initially made this goal and I was in my apartment. I did not see myself in a house at the end of the month, at the end of the year. At one point I did save $500, then I did save $1,000, but then I used that money towards the house. So I don't have those funds, but I am saving. It's still important that you save. I did more makeup videos, and then like I said, I did have a square on there for liquid diet for a week. Now, some things that I did not accomplish was enroll for school. I did apply for school and I got accepted back to my alma mater, but when I found out I was pregnant, I did not enroll in any courses. So it's okay if you don't accomplish things. Just try to figure out, okay, what was the leading cause as to why I did not achieve this? Was there anything that I could have done differently to achieve this if I still wanted this to be something that I achieved in my current time at the end of, the year. I did not save $2,500. I did not save $5,000. I did not create a planner. My score is not 750. It was 740 something after the house and everything, but it has plummeted just a little bit because we're kind of surviving just a little bit off of having the liquidation from our credit cards. So that's going to drop a little bit, but hey, it fluctuates. It's not ever going to always be high. It's not ever going to always be low. What goes up must come down, and what goes down must come up. I did not complete a no spending challenge for 30 days, and I did have one on here about another pay off credit card, but after I paid all 3 off, like I said, I used them again, then I paid them off again, and now I'm using them again, so I didn't cross that one off because when I paid the 2 off, I didn't pay the last one off. So, and I did not hone in on my spiritual journey. So those are all things that I still want to, maybe a few tweaks and changes. There are still things that I probably want to take as far as goals into my next year planning, next year personal goals, whatever. Like I said, I'm gonna do 2026 a little bit different. And also, let me add to the point that found out I was pregnant. We bought a house. I got married this year. Those were not things that I put on my bingo card, but those were things that I accomplished this year. Got married, found out I was pregnant, and I have been having a great pregnancy so far. I cannot ask for a better partner when it comes to my pregnancy. Like, I really feel like your partner makes or breaks your experience. And I don't have anything to compare this to because this is my first pregnancy. So I just like, I can't say that, oh my gosh, it's just so easy, but it really has been. Most mornings, most days, I forget that I'm pregnant until I'm like, oh, I felt something there, or oh, I'm thinking about it. Because when my mind goes off, I'm like, I can do this, that, and the third. Let me go run, let me go do this, let me go. No, you're pregnant. So, yeah, you guys, but it's just such a blessing to, have such an easy pregnancy. First pregnancy at that. Like, I'm loving doing my belly routine. I did that this morning where put my oil, put my massaging lotion, put my butter on there, just to enhance my belly, as far as like making sure it's still moisturized, making sure the if it does stretch, the elasticity of my skin isn't leaving stretch marks, all of the things. So I just love doing that routine because I feel like it brings me more closer to her, because she feels me putting in that care, rubbing her down with something, and just taking care of my own skin, because that's still my skin. But it's just been, I cannot complain. And when I had one of my prenatal calls, the lady that I was speaking to, she was like, "You are the pregnant lady that we all hate. You're the perfect pregnant person." And I was like, wow. I don't know. Like, I just don't have anything else to compare it to, but it just seems like it's been so effortless for me. And she's been great to me. When I am sick, it's very few and far between. I don't have morning sickness every day. Typically, she knows what she wants. If I just think about it and listen and like, okay, what are my taste buds saying? I want pizza. I'm about to go have pizza for breakfast, but I want pizza, or I want mozzarella sticks. Mozzarella sticks are my thing. But just listening to my body and being intuitive with, who she's becoming to be, and knowing that, there's going to be things that we both agree that we want. There's going to be some things that I don't want that I eat that she may need, like fruits. Normally I juice and I drink the fruits, but, she likes, the fruit being eaten from the actual, fruit itself, and not being juiced and then drunken. So, there's a lot of things that I accomplished. I hope you were able to list off just even a few things that you accomplished this year, or what you accomplished to work towards a certain goal, because sometimes there are little milestones that we are accomplishing along the way to the big ultimate goal that you may have set for yourself. Maybe you didn't minimize it enough, but keep track of it. That is what's going to fuel your motivation. That is what's going to fuel your confidence. And if you don't have confidence, and if you don't have motivation, you need to have discipline to continue to work towards whatever you are wanting to work towards, regardless if there is something that is being produced along the way. Because sometimes we run out of steam because, oh, I don't feel like I'm getting anything from putting this much in. What you're going to get out of putting all this effort in is at the end of the road. But because you're losing your steam, you're losing your traction along to that goal, you quit early, you quit too soon, right? So yeah, guys, and so I'm gonna go ahead and close out with the number one thing that I think I want to work towards, and maybe I'll break it down into quarterly things, and it'll be something that I achieve in 2027. I want to start my own business. I want to start my own coaching business. I feel like this is kind of something that I have always been passionate about. I just didn't know what it looked like. So obviously I got to do my research. Obviously I got to figure out what I'm passionate in to be coaching. And I feel like I already have it. Confidence, discipline, motivation, positive thinking, affirmations. Those are all the things that I have been so passionate about, and something that I always try to spread to other people. And most of the time, we are coaching somebody or multiple people through things and not getting paid for it. And we don't even know that we could make a business out of it and get paid for it. So I feel like, this are like free sessions. If you want, drop in the comment section what you want to, talk about, what you want to get advice on, relationship advice. I have been through a breakthrough of relationships, and now I'm in what I would say is my most perfect relationship. But no relationship is perfect, but it's imperfectly perfect for me, right? So I want to be able to coach people through those. I don't want to counsel, because counseling is taking what happened in the past and how to, you know, overcome it in your present. I want to coach where you are presently and how can you get to the next step in what you want to achieve. So that is something that I want to focus on in 2026. I don't want to lose sight of this, because whenever I have an idea, I know it is from God. And whenever I don't know what, like, how this even came about, I don't even know how this came about, but I feel like God is not going to put something in your mind to, you know, dissuade you or tell you that you can't do something. He is putting stuff in your mind in front of you and speaking to you in different ways and different methodologies, in different ways and different methods to tell you this is what you need to do. This is what you are trying to do. I see this in your future, but you have to put in the work. He's not going to just provide you with something. I don't think I would have made it to this decision had he not told me to go ahead and start the podcast. If you know me, if you've been here for as long as this podcast has been around, you know that I procrastinated doing a podcast for 4 years. I wanted to do a podcast. I knew I wanted to do a podcast, but because I did not have everything that I wanted and more to start the podcast, I held it off. I pushed it off. But when I was told and convicted to start the podcast, buy some microphones off TikTok, start recording in your voice memos on your phone, I listened and I moved. There are so many times God is telling us to do something and we hear it, we're listening to Him, but we don't act, we don't move. And so we're staying stagnant. He's telling us what we need to do, He's telling us what's next. But because we are too afraid and we feel like we don't have everything together right then and there, we don't do anything. I have been so adamant on everything doesn't have to be perfect when you first start. And that is who I am. I am perfectionist to my core. But everything doesn't have to start out perfect, because if it starts out perfect, how are you going to progress? If it starts out perfect, how do you improve? If it starts out perfect, people cannot get motivated and see the development of where you started, the process that you are in now, and the outcome. Like, you guys, I was so, like, y'all know me. I keep saying, oh, you know, my room isn't all the way together. It isn't all the way together. It's okay. It's okay. People will meet you where you are at, and they will follow you along the way if they deem it necessary, if they deem you worth following. So my podcast room, my podcast studio not being set up, it will get there. But if I continue to wait, there will never be a perfect time. And so because there is not a perfect time, because there is not a time where I have everything together, nothing happens. And so that's what happened. And I don't want, you know, my podcast area not being together to prevent me from recording in my house. I don't go anywhere a lot. Why do you think I had to stop recording for a little bit? I don't travel a lot, so I'm not recording in the car 24/7. But y'all are going to see me in my authentic form. If you are just perfect everywhere, nobody can relate to that. Nobody has everything together when they first start out. So you guys are going to see me start out in a, you know, far less position than I probably want myself in. But when I get this wallpaper up, okay, when I get this wallpaper up, when I get that fake plant that's gonna go in the middle, when I get this TV mounted, when I get my podcast chairs, okay, when I get these set up that I want, people will see that she was authentic to her core. She was authentic in the beginning, and the only thing that changed was her surroundings. She didn't change who she was because of where she was. She changed her surroundings to match who she was and what she wanted her vision to be. Okay, so I love this episode. Happy freaking New Year. Cheers to 2026. I cannot drink, so cheers. Y'all drink y'all margaritas, okay? For me, fire up some fireworks. Love it, okay? So this has just put me in such a good mood. And see, that is what building your confidence looks like. looking at what you have accomplished. Write it down. If you don't have a bingo board, write it down. Keep track of it, because it's going to fuel you with happiness and rebuild your confidence and boost, your motivation and make you feel great about yourself. All right, so that is everything that I want to help other people achieve and more. I've always been adamant in wanting to help people achieve something. I just didn't know what that something was. And whenever I get on this mic and I talk and I watch my episodes back, I feel like I have a gift. Okay? And so why not focus on what you enjoy doing and make money off of it? I'm going to continue to do my podcast, even if I get this life coaching certification, because I still want to help my community without always having to get a buck. You know those people that, oh yeah, they stopped helping their community because they wanted to charge people. No, I don't want to stop helping my community. There may not be a lot of people watching and listening now, but if I do gain a following, if I do make it big, there is going to be something that people can watch for free if they deem it necessary and if they deem that they resonate with it. Okay, so yeah, you guys, remember, write down what you accomplished, look back over the year, reminisce. If you made it through some hardships, that is an accomplishment. Okay, it may not have been a goal for the year, but you made it through some hardships. Take accountability. Okay, so I love you guys. You guys know I love y'all. Y'all know I love talking to you. I'm going to try to hurry up as soon as I hit stop in recording on this phone. And I want to go ahead and upload the audio because it is 8 a.m. Tuesday. And I have just been doing so terrible with uploading on time. So I'm going to go ahead, get everything transported, uploaded. Hopefully I have the audio uploaded by end of day Tuesday, if not by 12 o'clock at the latest. And then I'll go ahead and schedule the YouTube to post out, Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. But I love you guys. OGs, thank you so much for being here since the start. It's just really great to know that I have people that have been here from the start that's listening. Okay. We're almost to 100 episodes. I don't know what I want to do for that. It's just a lot going on. So I don't think I'll do anything, but if there is something that you want to see or ask me for the 100th episode, I'm glad to listen, open ears, or answer any questions that you may have. And yeah, I love you guys. I hope you have a great, safe week. I hope you have a safe new year. Responsible new year. Okay, I can't drink, but that doesn't mean that you can't. So I want to make sure you guys are all being safe and responsible, taking care of those around you. Girls, if you go to the club together, leave together. All right, there's too many instances where that girl code has been neglected. Girls are just leaving people and leaving other girls. And stop. Be safe, be responsible, take care of yourself and those that you arrive at a function with. And yeah, I will see you guys next year. And I love you. Have a great one. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Pretty Confident Podcast. Remember, confidence isn't about perfection. It's about embracing who you truly are. So until next time, stay bold, stay authentic, and stay pretty confident. Peace out.